Okay, buenas tardes. It's about 5 p.m. and also it's day 7. It's day 7, it's 5 p.m. I didn't really make like an end of day video yesterday. We got back down off the switchbacks, and as we were walking towards the highway, there was a truck with the tailgate down with a cardboard sign in the window that said CT Hikers written on it. So got the first trail magic I've ever had, last year or this year. The guy running, its name was Moose. He had a cooler full of stuff, and he was telling me everything that was in there, but I stopped listening once I heard ice cream sandwich and beer. So, and they're actually, in a pretty amazing combination when you get done with 6 straight days of hiking from Denver to Breckenridge. So that was really great. Thank you, Moose. Anyway, yeah, so then we went back to my parents' camper, which is parked near Twin Lakes, and had a really nice view of Mount Elbert, actually. Yeah, so we grilled and whatever, and then this morning we came into Breckenridge, we did laundry, I got a shower at the camper last night, we did laundry, we resupplied. I picked up a package that was sent to the post office from Lightsmith. Thank you so much, Lightsmith, for doing that for me. Lightsmith is amazing, by the way. I should make a video just talking about all the stuff I'm carrying in my pack from Lightsmith. They have taken probably at least 2 pounds out of my pack from last year, and their stuff is all cheap. Like, people always talk, seem to think that going light involves spending a lot of money, and for the big threes, sometimes it does mean that. But there's a lot of other ways when you're really dialing all the little details in. Lightsmith is great for that. Anyway, I probably will make I'm not sponsored by them or anything. Not sponsored by anybody, I'm just some dude. Who would sponsor me? But anyway, Lightsmith is incredible. And yeah, so I got some stuff from them from the post office. We went to, what was it? The Motherlode? The Motherlode, that's what it was. We went to the Motherlode restaurant in Breckenridge, stock friendly. Patty and Frida and I went there last year, and this year my folks and Harley and I went there. So yeah, they have a nice dog friendly patio on the back. Pretty good food, pretty good prices considering it's Breck for sure. Anyway, so now I'm on my way. Oh, look at these things. I can't see if I'm getting a good angle on that. Beautiful right there. There's a lot of really beautiful wildflowers out. I felt like last year we didn't quite get nearly as many wildflowers until like the segments to come. We've had a lot already this year. As always, when you leave a town, it's a big climb out of the town. So I'm going to be a little winded during this video, but whatever. So one of the biggest pieces of news today is completely non-hiking related, but my fiance Petty has her drive, first of all, to be great is second to none. She absolutely worked her butt off for this E-People Tree test. It's the E-Triple-P, but We jokingly called it the E-People tree. The E-Triple-P is the national licensing exam to become a licensed psychologist. And she has been studying round the clock. I mean, I barely saw her, and I completely support that, of course, you know. I barely saw her. She'd come home from work, and we'd leave, go to the coffee shop. Oftentimes she'd just go straight to the coffee shop and just work until late. Make sure, you know, we'd have dinner ready for her, you know, when she'd get back, like super late, once the coffee shop closed. Anyway, the point is she's been working really hard for that exam. She took it today and smashed it, really. Like, she got a really high score. I'm really proud of her. It's the biggest hurdle to become a licensed psychologist. There's a few things you have to do at the state level, but anyway, Petty, right, of course, who was hiking with me last year, is now just basically a few small hurdles away from being a licensed psychologist. Congratulations. I love you. Incredible. Anyway, yeah, so she asked me to be off the trail when she took that exam because she didn't want to be worried about me having any issues out on the trail, like having that as a distraction. So it worked out well that I could be in Breckenridge and in town and ready, waiting for the call. And I got the call while we were loading up the washing machine. Anyway, okay, so now in hiking news, back on the trail, my friend Kyle that we met the other night, we exchanged numbers, texted him in Breck. Sounded like we were going to be hiking the same mileage. He told me, unfortunately, he thinks he might be done. He had a really swollen knee, and that's legit. He showed it to me. His knee didn't look great. And he said he hiked out ahead of us. We never saw him again on the hike into Breck. He said it was like he was getting swelling in his calf, like it seemed to be draining down into his calf. It was really uncomfortable, and he was gonna go see, he was gonna go to some urgent care clinic or something and get it checked out, but he feared that his hike was over, which is a bummer because that dude could hike, and there was a chance that we might have seen a lot of each other from here to the end. But anyway, my plan today and the next few days is to make getting through the snowy parts of the trail as smooth as I can. That means going through the snowy parts early in the morning, because as the sun comes up, it starts to melt, kind of turns into slush, but overnight it sets again and is much more solidified in the morning, which means better chances of being able to just kind of walk right over the top of the snow and not have the snow affect you too much. So today I'm going to go about 5 miles, maybe a little more, depending on where I can find a place to pitch my tent. There's a water source for quite a while, and that puts me at the base of the big climb. This big climb was the climb that made me realize I needed lighter gear. That was the climb that made me think, oh my goodness, like, yeah, that $300 pack that weighed 2 pounds less was worth it. That blah blah blah, right? So I'm taking that on tomorrow, and at the top it ain't gonna be a beautiful grassy field. It's gonna be a bunch of snow, and yeah, so I mean, it sounds like there's a couple parts on this that could be a little sketchy if you screwed up, but at the same time, it's probably not that hard to screw up, in the sense that, I mean, you're not going to die, but if you slip, you're going to be sliding down the mountain, probably a few hundred feet, and that could be a mess, of course. So, so I think it takes strategizing around. So my plan, right, is basically to put myself at the base of these climbs, so that at night, so that when I do them, I'll be going through the snow bright and early in the morning. So yeah, that's the plan. So just about 5 miles tonight. You can see part of the village down there or whatever. I don't know what they call it, but that's not technically not Breckenridge. Breckenridge is a few miles south, but I don't know if you can notice kind of the area where there's no trees on the side of that hill. That's where you climb down at the end of segment 6. It's kind of a nice open view right here. Anyway, so yeah. So the next 2 days we'll be playing in the snow. It's forced to, some hikers, I don't want to say it forced, but it caused some hikers to make the choice to skip ahead. But I mean, it sounds like it's really not that bad. I mean, it might slow you down, but it's not nothing that's gonna kill you if you don't need micro spikes or an ice axe or anything like that. Anyway, I'm really rambling, but the reality is today's not going to be a very interesting day. All today, from a hiking standpoint, is setting me up for success tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow afternoon is all about getting a beer at Copper Mountain. 1, and then 2, setting me up for success the next day to go over Cyril and Kokomo passes. So that's it. I mean, there's a chance I'll probably check back in later, I suppose, but today's super uneventful. 5 miles, maybe a little more, depending on where I can find a flat spot to put my tent, and get a good night's sleep and get it tomorrow. Let's go. One other thing that I finalized over, well, it probably isn't quite finalized, but I will say it's probably 95% likely, is that I will be going collegiate east instead of west. Last year we planned on going east, partially because it was like the old school way to do it, and somehow I wanted to do it kind of the old school way to do it. It's the way my dad did it when he did his through hike. But then when I read the reviews, or not reviews, but like comments on like the differences between east and west, I was like, wow, west sounds incredible. I wanted to go west. But I talked to another CDT or no-borrower at the Trail Magic yesterday, and I just saw today there was on the Facebook page for the Colorado Trail through hike, some guy said he was going to go west. He hiked like the first 3 segments of west and said he's bailing to east because he's sick of the snow. So yeah. So that's pretty much done, I would say, going east. What it would take for me to not go east would be almost all the snow melting. But I'm only like, how many miles away? I'm like maybe 80 miles away from the split. So, I mean, I'll probably have to for sure make that decision in 3 or 4 days. Not 3 or 4 days. 4 or 5, maybe 5 or 6, maybe in the 6th day. But anyway, and I will need to make that final answer on which way I go, but it will almost undoubtedly be east. I have to come back and do west another time. Anyway, up, baby, here we go.